Culture for a digital age.
The digital age has its advantages and disadvantages. In this video, we would like to focus on the cultural problems that companies struggle with since the upcoming of the digital era.
Research has proven that there are three problems that cause one of the main barriers for a company to succeed in the digital age. The first one is about functional and departmental silos. The second is about a fear of taking risks. And lastly, the difficulty of forming and acting on a single view of the customer. Culture forms the most significant self-reported barrier to digital effectiveness. If organizations wait for organizational cultures to change organically, they will move too slowly while digital penetration grows. This will cause boundaries between the sectors and boost competitive intensity. Research shows that cultural obstacles correlate obviously with negative economic performance. The three critical cultural intervention points are valuable for leaders seeking to persevere in reshaping their organization's culture. The first cultural challenge is siloed mindsets. Some observers might consider organizational silos a structural issue rather than a cultural one, but silos are more than just lines and boxes. A siloed mindset is a mentality present in some companies when certain departments don't want to collaborate or share information with others in the same organization. When this happens, key signals will be missed because they were seen by the wrong part of the company, resulting in overall less efficiency. How can you know if your own organization is too siloed? There are two primary symptoms. The first one is inadequate information, and the second one is insufficient accountability or coordination on enterprise-wide initiatives. Employees in siloed organizations are less likely to recognize the threat of disruption or digital opportunity when they see it. They can only see what they encounter through the lens of their own narrow view. Every part of the organization reaches different conclusions about their digital priorities based on incomplete or different information. The solution for companies looking to break out of a siloed mentality is to inspire within employees a common sense of the overall direction and purpose of the company. Data and thoughtful management rotation often play a role. Data can help solve the blind man and the elephant problem. This refers to a story of six blind men that come across different parts of an elephant. Each blind man creates his own version of reality from that limited experience and perspective. This is also the case in certain organizations with siloed mindsets. As a solution, we could create visibility and centralized access rights with regard to who could reach out to members and when, by combining customer databases and propensity models across silos. Then we have management rotation, which consists of switching executives between siloed functions and business units. This helps create a more consistent understanding between different business units, as well as helping create informal networks as employees build relationships in different departments. The second main symptom of a siloed culture is a tendency for employees to believe a given problem is someone else's responsibility. To avoid this, organizations need to build mechanisms that help support cross-functional collaboration by creating flexible teams. Employees are united by a shared view of the customer and a common definition of success. More squads together are combined into tribes which focus on end-to-end business outcomes. The team members are also held mutually responsible for the outcome. This model works best in IT functions, but it's making its way into other areas of the business.
Next, we will talk about risk aversion. Too often, risk is seen as a broad bush term, suggesting that everything will take care of itself if executives encourage experimentation and don't punish failure. But that's not true. So, we have to try extra hard and make it safe to fail, and that applies to companies and individuals. The digital era has complicated matters. On one hand, the eagerness to experiment, adapt, and to invest in new risky areas has become essentially important. On the other hand, it has become difficult for people to take risks because transparency is greater, cost of failure is high, and competitive advantage is less lasting. So what can leaders do to strike the right balance? They have two things that they can do. First off, a mindset of risk-taking and innovation through all ranks of the company. The second point is to act boldly themselves, which requires a changing mindsets about risks. It's important that senior leaders build a culture where people feel comfortable trying out those risks, which means no usage of hierarchical decision making. Employees can focus on optimizing and celebrate learning when they make mistakes. Executives should make it clear that they trust the front lines to make meaningful decisions themselves. However, assigning authority to employees only works if all workers have the skills, mindsets, and information access, especially information. Data will help employees to take small-scale risks as they alter offers and adjust targeting in real time. Benefits include improvements in the customer experience and greater flexibility across the business in recognizing and resolving problems. But senior leaders are also responsible for driving bold, decisive actions that enable the company to veer rapidly. Such movements require risk-taking, including aggressive goal setting and resource reallocation. Aggressive goal setting means that a business should set up goals that reflect the pace of disruption in a company's industry. If a corporate doesn't take disruption into account, they won't be able to develop forward. Resource reallocation is needed to back up such goals. To reevaluate your business with a 5-year time horizon, you need to think about factors that need to exit, where to invest, and where to stay. But such bold moves can shake things up and improve the risk culture of an enterprise. Customer focus is another matter we still should improve. A lack of unified understanding of customers makes it hard for companies. They can't find out where to place their bets as customer choice gets broader and companies just don't know how they should retaliate those choices. The digital age is forcing companies to get close to their customers, as well as providing them with better means to do so. As the customer demands, the company should provide if they want to survive. They should respond quickly to inquiries, customize products and services seamlessly, and if customers would need it, provide easy access to information. Doing so, customers help co-create your products through open innovation instead of you guessing what the customers want and waiting only after the launch to see if you guessed it right. Now, companies adjust real-time by developing product and service features with direct input from end users. This creates a relationship between the company and its customers. Once this relationship is created, we can build a common understanding of customer needs into our organizational culture by connecting the right data to the right decisions. This will develop a virtuous cycle that reinforces customer centricity. For example, Amazon. Amazon invested in automated warehouses and a sophisticated distribution model. They can offer items in which the customers might be interested, and that is a significant element in Amazon's success. In today's rapidly changing environment, customer-centric cultures should anticipate emerging patterns in the behavior of customers and adjust relevant interactions with them by dynamically integrating structured data, such as demographics and purchase history, and of course with unstructured data, like social media and voice analytics. Cultural changes within corporates will always be slower and more complex than the technological changes that go with them, so it is very important to take a proactive attitude on culture. A first critical remark is silo mentality. There are still a lot of companies that underestimate this problem. Using only projects to bust silos is not the solution in the long run. The mentality of managers and employees needs to change. Secondly, executives need to trust their employees at all levels without subjecting them to excessive bureaucracy. And for our last remark, to which extent does the legislation on privacy offer the customer enough protection?
Created using Powtoon.